Hey everyone, it's Jessica, and today I am participating in a fun YouTube hop celebrating Mel W scrapping, hitting her 500 subscribers on YouTube, which is super exciting. So I've chosen this layout here on the bottom right to scrap lift of hers. I think hers was actually a scrap lift too, but it was for mixed media, and I am going to add some mixed media to this to go along with her theme as well. So I've chosen some distress oxides in scattered straw, and I think dried marigold is the orangey one there. And I'm just watering it down a little bit, not too much, because I didn't cut the cut file out on Vicky Bouton foundation paper, which is a thicker paper to hold up to that mixed media. So I try not to add too much water to it, but I do like the way that it blends whenever you add the water. So I got that part down, and I've already cut the cut file. As you can see, this is a free file by Paper Issues. I just love it. I've used it a couple times now. And I wanted to try something new on this. So her layout, Mel's layout, had a bunch of stars like this, and I thought this cut file would be just absolutely perfect for this because the stars were kind of laid out in the same type of way as her layout. So I knew this cut file would be perfect, but I wanted to try something new. So I am going to separate this embroidery thread into 3 strands instead of the 6, and I am going to thread this through my layout with some sequins. I've seen a couple other people do this before, and I just love the way that it looks, and I love using sequins on my layouts, but I've never actually done this. So what I'm going to do is I have used a small actual sewing needle to make sure that the head on it was small enough to get my sequins through it. I usually use my Sew and Easy sewing needles, but this one, the sequins are kind of small in the middle, so I didn't think it would go through those needles, and not the tip of itself wouldn't even go through the sequins either. So, I can't talk today. So I ended up using a small sewing needle, and I'm just threading those through. I've taped down the tail end on the back just with some regular tape, and then I am just threading all of those sequins through. So I'm only going to show you one of these because it does take me some time. I just turned the TV on and I was watching a movie at the time, so it kind of gave me something to do with my hands while I was watching a movie. So here is what it looks like. Isn't that so pretty with all those little sequins threaded through there? I just love it. And 3 strands was about the perfect amount so that they have a little bit of movement, but not enough movement that it's going to move around in my book, if that makes sense. So I could move them around with my fingers, but I know that they're going to stay pretty much where I put them for when I put the page inside my album. So I've got 2 photos here. I've matted them with some smooth white cardstock first, and then a piece of pattern paper from Echo Park, Summer Adventure Collection, I believe it's called. And then I just distressed the edges, I taped them together, and then I popped them up with some foam tape from Thermoweb. And then here I'm just putting adhesive on the entire back of this because with all those stars, I didn't want any space in between that. I wanted it to lay flat on my layout, and with the mixed media it was a little bit warped, so I wanted to make sure it was gonna stick down good and not be popping up anywhere. So I just peeled the backing off my adhesive foam tape and popped my photos down on the layout. I am pulling out this cute little excavator to place by my layout. These couple photos here are actually of my son whenever we were camping. So he brought his excavator along and he was enjoying some digging time in our campsite. So it's a camping theme layout, but yet it's more of like a digging theme layout sort of. But I'm pulling out some camping embellishments to use with it here, and I'm not going to heavily embellish this because Mel's layout wasn't heavily embellished either. So her focal point was mainly on her glittery stars, which I love. So I'm gonna try to kind of keep with that same theme that she had going. So I found this word in my stash from one of my kits, and I am going to use it on here. I believe it's by 49 and Market. And I'm just going to add to that title, so I'm going to make it say digging this. These are some lovely, I think they're called Aria letters if I remember right, but I love them. I love that font, it's so pretty. And I'm just going to put that there. And I'm not really going to add a whole lot to this, so I thought that left part there on the left side of my photo was just lacking something, so I end up grabbing an epoxy, I guess it's not an epoxy flare, it's a canvas flare from Scrap and Happy Studios, and I'm gonna pop that on that left side, and then I'm gonna put thread behind it, and I'm putting thread behind this one On the right side, it's not a flare. This one's just paper. It's just a die cut from my camping stash of embellishments. And then here is the epoxy, I keep saying epoxy. She makes epoxy flare, and then she makes the canvas flare, but this one's canvas, so it's got softer, it's no glare, and it's camping theme, so it's just perfect for this layout. And it sums my kit up just right, because most people say your second child's your wild child, but no, my first one is definitely my wild child. He is crazy, but we love him, and I think I'll keep him. So yeah, he's a good guy. But I'm just kind of finishing this up. I'm just going to doodle around the edges a little bit, and then I'm going to do some doodling around some of my bigger stars on the layout, just to kind of make those pop and give them some dimension. So super happy for Mel. If you are not following her, go ahead and head on over to her channel and subscribe to her channel. It's free to subscribe, but it does help us up. It helps us get out there and get more views, and just kind of interact with everyone in the scrappy world. And it's so fun. Congratulations to you, Mel. That's such a big accomplishment, and I'm so proud of you. And feel free to hop along with all the rest of the people playing along today too, down below. So thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye.